Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MLB matches that is happening on Wednesday, August 23, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. St. Louis Cardinals vs Pittsburgh Pirates. Take Pittsburgh Pirates moneyline. And here is why. Looking at this matchup historically, one would have favored the Cardinals, whether considering the money line, run line, or their team total. However, this year has brought a reversal of fortunes, favoring the Pirates against their divisional rivals. Currently, the Pirates hold a 6-2 record against the Cardinals and have outscored them 43-21 over these 8 games. Taking into account the Cardinals' recent struggles, having lost 5 of their last 6 games leading up to Tuesday, I find it hard to ignore the opportunity presented by the Pirates on the money line. Additionally, the Pirates will be up against Matthew Liberatore, who has had a rather inconsistent season. The left-handed pitcher enters this matchup with a 2-5 record, accompanied by a 6.12 ERA and 1.64 WHIP. Considering these factors, I believe it's a good choice to back the Pirates on their home turf, where they hold a relatively respectable record of 30-32. Our second pick is over, and here is why. I'm also locking in the over for this matinee matchup between the Cardinals and Pirates. Building off of the pick above, I have to mention that Liberatore's ERA rises to 7.17 on the road this year. The southpaw won't have much help behind him either, considering his bullpen is ranked 21st in ERA, 4.50, and 25th in WHIP, 1.41. Ultimately, this is essentially just a throwaway year for the Cardinals. We're used to seeing them rely on dominant pitching, and that just hasn't the case this season. On the flip side, St. Louis's bats have not been the issue this year. They're 9th overall in team batting average, .257, and 5th in ops, .763. They'll take on a pedestrian arm barn later in the game as well. Pittsburgh is just 20th in bullpen ERA, 4.18, and 22nd in WHIP, 1.35. Finally, it's worth noting that the Pirates have been an over team all year, as they have the second highest over record at 67-54-4, 55.4%. Only the Dodgers are higher at 68-48-7, 58.6%. Let's get the day started with a slugfest. Give me the over. Cincinnati Reds vs Los Angeles Angels. I'm siding with the Angels to win by multiple runs in Game 1. And here is why. With such a young team on the field this year, Cincinnati has already exceeded expectations with a very strong June and July. But it seems youth and injuries are catching up to the Reds this month, given their underwhelming record since the calendar turned to August. Now this young squad will get its first look at one of the game's most talented pitchers, and I think it's a matchup that Shohei Ohtani is going to win. The Angels have slipped far enough in the standings that their playoff hopes are extremely slim, but with Mike Trout expected back for their series, maybe they have one final push left in them. This is a game they must win with Ohtani on the hill. Give me the under as a second pick. And here is why. Shohei Ohtani got roughed up a little bit in early July, but he certainly seems to have corrected whatever was wrong. Ohtani hasn't allowed an earned run in any of his last 3 starts. He's also been tremendous at home this season, posting a 2.75 ERA in 13 appearances. For Cincinnati, Andrew Abbott has arguably been the best and most consistent pitcher on the roster since he was called up earlier this season. He's probably the closest thing the Reds have to a stopper in their rotation, and they need a strong performance from him in Game 4 of the doubleheader. Chicago Cubs vs Detroit Tigers. Our team pick is Cubs, -1.5. And here is why. The Cubs have looked good so far in this series, and they'll grab the win again in this one. The offense is too potent of late, while Talon at least has experience to navigate Detroit's struggling offense. Chicago has turned into one of the league's deepest lineups, and with Detroit leaning on their pitching lately, simply won't have enough on either side to generate success. Chicago has found their groove, even on the road, which is going to lead to a road win to take them into the weekend. Our total pick is under. And here is why. Chicago SP Marcus Stroman has been diagnosed with a right rib cage cartilage fracture and will not return until next month at the earliest. Through 125 games, Chicago ranks 9th in ops and 5th in runs scored. For the season, Detroit ranks 29th in ops and 29th in runs scored. Take the under. Seattle Mariners vs Chicago White Sox. Our team pick is Seattle -1.5 runs. And here is why. Seattle's offense got going early, with their highest scoring inning taking place in the first, where they tallied 5 runs. The offense kept rolling in the 5th inning when both Cal Raleigh and Teoscar Hernandez hit solo bombs. Raleigh went on to add another in the 8th. On 15 total hits, 5 different players logged multiple successes at the plate. Luis Castillo got the nod, and he retired 9 batters over 7 innings while giving up just 1 run. RHP George Kirby is set to take the mound for his 13th road start of the season. Kirby enters this game with a 10-8 record and an ERA of 3.23. He's been the most erratic during road starts this season, as he's given up 79 hits in 75 innings. This has led to his highest opponent batting average, with foes hitting .271 at the plate. He's given up just 8 homers through his 12 away starts, but his 55 strikeouts sit at a split low. He's tossed better under the lights, improving his K rate and dropping his home run rate, posting a 7.4 night record. In August he's been much more dialed in, dropping his ERA to 2.05 and giving up just 2 homers in 22 innings. On top of that, he's held foes to under .200 at the plate and hasn't yielded a single walk. Seattle enters this contest with a run differential of +84, which lands them at 6th in the league. The Mariners sit in the bottom half of the league in overall batting average, but have hit slightly better on the road and at night this season. The offense has been aided by their near top 10 hitting home run rate, and the Mariners sit 6th in baseball in hits for extra bases. However, the subpar batting average has often cost them, as Seattle is the worst in the league in their frequency of batting runners home. Of course, this has also been a byproduct of the near-league worst strikeout rate. As is often the case, when home run numbers climb, so too do strikeouts. In August, the bats have perked up a fair amount, as the Mariners are sitting at a monthly high batting average. They managed 32 homers in 19 contests and are well on track to post their highest monthly home run total. And with 5.84 runs per game on average this month, the Mariners look a force to be reckoned with. The Mariners have been seeing the ball very well this month, and Kopech has walked nearly as many batters as innings thrown at night. Couple that with a White Sox offense that has waned for the most part in August, and Kirby, who hasn't walked a batter this month, is also dialed in, as he's holding a monthly best ERA split. Look for the Mariners to stay hot here and take advantage of Kopech, who walked 6 batters the last time these clubs squared off. Our total pick is under 9.5 runs. And here is why. Chicago enters this contest with a run differential of -120, which has the White Sox at 27th in the league. They've remained among the bottom 5 in overall batting average, and while they're hitting slightly better at home, they've been hitting the softest during night games. It hasn't been a knockout offense in large part as they bottom 10 in home runs per game and isolated power hitting. With that being said, over half their homers this season have come under the lights, although extra base hits have not been as frequent. A larger hindrance to the offense has been their lack of plate discipline. The White Sox are walked at league low levels, and they strike out nearly 9 times per contest, which posts them in the bottom 10. August has been a mixed bag largely. They've hit the ball a bit better, but their 3.88 runs per game is well off their season average, and they've only netted 16 homers over 18 games. With the offense for the White Sox sputtering this month, and their bottom 10 walk and strikeout rate pitted against a hurler who hasn't issued a walk over his last 22 innings, it's hard to envision a path for runs for them. The Mariners have hit the ball very well this month, but Kopech did hold them to 1 run over 4 innings earlier this season. On top of that, Seattle holds the highest amount of runners stranded in the league, and they sit 29th in strikeouts per game in their own right. This total is too high for offenses that have consistency troubles.